Well, yeah, that is it. That's full time, obviously, as we just said. Stoke 0, Leicester 4, and let's get the boss in, of course. Here is Phil.
Hi chaps, that was a convincing win in the end, wasn't it? Very convincing, some good goals, enjoyable, and it's lovely to be in the position where Leicester City, our club, look like one of the big clubs out of the Premier League when we play these games now. We go there and we genuinely look like, we took it seriously and we were cruising, Tom.
Yeah, do you know what? I think today that sums it up. We've done a professional job. We've not mucked around with the team too much, and we've won comfortably in the end. And like you said, 2-0. Well, the second half we upped it. We got out of second and third gear. And I'd say unsung hero today was Perez from pulling their defence around, because the second goal comes in from what we talked about. Perez dropping in, and Tielemans playing that lovely ball in behind, and Kevin the sharp onto his left foot and bends it in the bottom corner. So. Look, game set match, and soon as the third and the fourth went in, it looks like it's a non-contest. But Stoke gave us a game today, up to about 50, 60 minutes. Stoke really gave us a game and tried to take us on, but at the end, the quality told.
Jamie's joined us. We'll get as many comments in there. Don't forget, we want your views. Let us know who you thought was man of the match today. I'll ask the lads what they thought to that. CK saying, well done, Sean, got it spot on. Patrick saying 4-0, even Perez scored. Listen, Perez, for me, had a good game, like Tom just said. And he did like Vardy. He scored his goal when he got the chance, so I was more than pleased with Jose Perez today. Second half was like a training session, says Andy. It was very nice play from Leicester. Good win, says Adele. On YouTube, Carlos says 4-0, get in there. Thanks, Albrighton, says Stuart Widows, proving me wrong. Yeah, I think Mark Albrighton did have a good game. We want to know who you think your man of the match was. Let's go straight to Jamie. Jamie, a good win. Who was your man of the match today? What were your highlights?
Well, it was a good all-round performance to start off with. Thought we deserved professional job, and we did what we needed to do. We won quite easily, 4-0. Like Kev says, bring on the next round. As for man of the match, I don't know. It's a tough one. There wasn't one. I don't think for me there wasn't one outstanding player. I'd say, I don't know, maybe Perez, because he did the job of pulling them out. Like Tom says, he was pulling defenders out the way and he was making spaces and that. So I don't know. Perez or Brighton didn't have the best of games. Some of his free kicks was a little bit ranked today, so I can't really give it to him. But yeah, I'll give it Perez, because he worked hard up top against a big back line of Stoke. So yeah, I'll give it to Perez, I think.
Look, so who you chuck in the mix for man of the match today?
I'll quickly say, because my internet is going pear-shaped, so this will be my last say. For me, Perez. Perez is a good one, yeah. Perez or Albrighton for me. It's hard to choose. As Tom pointed out towards the end of the game, I think Perez, just because obviously he did all the dirty work. Playing as a kind of false nine, if you like, with the two wingers kind of playing as inside forwards. It was a good watch. But yeah, for me, Jose Perez. And hold on, before I go. There we go. Cheers all. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Locks. Thanks for taking us through. Tom, who were you thinking for man of the match? A lot of people on Twitter are saying, we've put a poll up as ever. There was that many players. Nobody was a massive standing out player, but a lot of players had a decent game. We put in our 4 on Twitter, all out of Albrighton, Castagna, James Justin. And we were toying with Dennis Pratt or Yuri Tielemans, and everybody's slating us for not putting Tielemans into the poll. But 47% of fans are saying Yuri Tielemans out of the 4 we put up, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, Tielemans had a quiet first half, let's be honest. He didn't do a lot in the first half. It was more the second half where he started to pull the strings. I mean, I thought JJ was brilliant today. I really did. He'd gone unnoticed again. Once again, did his job well, scored a great goal. I'd say JJ. I think JJ was up there. I know Tielemans will get the headline for his pass, but for someone to play as well as JJ did and scored, what a finish from JJ today as well. I'll give it to James Justin.
The Luton Cafu.
Yes. Yeah, it was a great goal. I said it will make the highlights package of this weekend's FA Cup goals for sure.
Definitely.
Let's get some views in, and then we're going to add in. We've already had some people click on the link. We've got Chris, Mark, Jay, and R waiting to come in, so we will get as many of those on as we can shortly. Nandez on YouTube says Castagna was class. He certainly had a good game. Stephen Price saying all 10 outfield were man of the match. Casper had almost nothing to do, Jamie.
think he had one save towards the end. I think it said when McLean had that shot. I think that after about 65 minutes, I think they said that was Stoke's first attempt on target in the second half. But he had a couple of headers that he just collected. But other than that, Schmeichel had nothing to do. The only disappointing thing today was Dennis Pratt's injury, unfortunately.
Yeah, Tom, I mean, it definitely was a hamstring that he pulled up, didn't he? Trying to make that. It was a great ball from Yuri Telemans and a great run by Dennis Pratt. But
that sums up the game today, really. That move there, once again, Nacho was the decoy runner to pull inside, hold the ball up. Pratt then made the lung bursting run over the top. And considering he played all game, hasn't played regular, to be still making that run in the 80th, 85th minute, it was fair play to him. But yeah, that's the only downside today, that we've probably lost him now anywhere between 4 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, it could be Jamie. He could be out for quite a little period.
It depends what it is. Hopefully, it's just a twinge or something. But it looked worse than that, because as soon as he did it, he pulled up straight away, signalled to the bench, and he knew his left fetlock. He's pulled it, so he'll be out for you don't know, do you? Different grades of tears, isn't there? So hopefully, touch wood, it's not going to be too bad.
I mean, Tom, there's been talk about some players leaving Leicester or either on loan. There's been talk of Hamza Chowdhury going maybe on loan to somebody like Newcastle. Damari Gray could go. You only need one or two injuries like this one to Dennis Pratt just at a time where you go, really, don't want to let too many players go, do we?
Can't see Hamza going now. Not now if Pratt's out for 12 weeks. You know, if you say that's the maximum, maybe
how many
12.
weeks?
12. Depends
could
what area. Could be 12 weeks.
If it's a hamstring, Jamie.
If he's tore his hamstring, could be up to 3
that's
weeks.
him out for the season then, really, isn't it? If you think about it.
You know, and then got to recover. So it could be 12 weeks, you know. Short term, it's going to be a month if he's pulled. It all depends what I say. Next 48 hours will be crucial. But if that's the case, and I can't see Hamza going anywhere now, because that leaves you with, let's work it out, Tillemans and Didi, Maddison, Mendy, and Hamza. Five midfielders in there. And with the Europa, you know, you're still playing in, you're going to have to keep this team around.
Pete,
the only thing is with that, though, Tom, the only thing with that is Chowdhury is a different type of player to Pratt and Tillemans and that. Do we need Chowdhury to be there, or it's like that? Somebody just mentioned Dewsbury Hall. Then I didn't see who it was that mentioned it. Maybe it's time to bring him back as cover, or is it better leaving him at Luton and getting him game time?
I think for me, if we can leave him at Luton, give him the game time, because he's ripping up trees in the Championship, mate. Let's not get it wrong. He's making the Championship look fun by the sounds of it. Every Luton Town game, he's nearly man of the match. I think out of the last 7 games, he's been man of the match 5 times. And that shows you the standard he's playing at in the Championship. And let's not go wrong. Harvey Barnes did exactly the same. Cleared off to League One, then cleared off to the Championship for a couple of seasons. It's working well with Leicester. So hopefully next year, Dewsbury Hall's on the edge of the first team and getting games. But I think to bring him back now would be not great for his confidence, to be stuck on the bench maybe and get an occasional game, for 10, 20 minutes at the end.
Chaps, right, we've got lots of fans clicked on the link, which is great. I'm going to try and get them in, and I want to hear what they think about the game, and then we'll move on to the next one. I'm going to start with Jono, and then I'll get Chris in, and then I'll get EKG, J&R. So I'm going to start with you, Jono. Welcome to the show again, Jono.
Hi, guys.
Jono, give us your post-match views on today's game. We've got a lot of fans want to get their say, and so fire away.
Job done, really. Justin was man of the match for me. He was solid. He came forward. He looked neat and tidy. Did a lot of good stuff, and he got a great goal. So that's for me, man of the match. Job done for me. Great.
Nice to see us looking comfortable, Jono, today. In the end.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the second goal went in, there was no contest really. But we were clearly better than them throughout. So it's what I expected at the beginning of the game, to be honest. I said 3-0 with the strong side that we put out, and we essentially did what we should have done, really, with the quality we've got. So to me, it was to be expected.
Yeah, Jamie, I think that, like Jono said before the match, a strong side went out. Brendan Rodgers taking it very, very seriously, obviously fancies the FA Cup.
Yeah, if we'd come away with a 1-0 win, we'd have been thinking, well, was it worth putting that team out? But Rodgers has put that team out. We've come away with a 4-0 win, clean sheet for the defence. Sionku's got some minutes. Rodgers is well done, Brendan Rodgers, for doing it. But it'd have been a different kettle of fish if we'd scraped a 1-0 win and not looked very good. But he put that team out, and that was it. Perfect result for end of a perfect day, really, with Derby losing.
So, Jono, you'd agree with that? Brendan Rodgers got it spot on.
Yeah, he did. The only downside was Pratt's injury. Yet to be seen how serious it is. But if it is a serious one, like Tom was saying, I would give a shout out to Dewsbury Hall. It's fantastic so far at Luton. And I think, if we do need an extra bod in midfield, I think, let's throw him in for games like this for the rest of the season, and you give him some game time. I think, he's shown that he's got the quality at Championship level. I understand what you're saying about him needing more game time, but I think, Harvey Barnes came back when he was tearing up trees at West Brom, and he came back halfway through, didn't he? So if it is a serious one for Pratt, then that, I think, could be an option.
Could be. Thanks, Jono. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to add in Mark and then Chris. Cheers, Jono.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks to Jono. Let's add in Mark, who joined us before the game. Mark.
Hello, boys.
Hello again. Are you pleased with that today?
Oh, faultless, really, wasn't it? First 20 minutes were a bit worrying, but they've got big, strong attacking players that could have caused us issues, but our defence dealt with it. So,
yeah, I agree. Tom, I mean, Mark's saying there about that Stoke were decent. They're a decent Championship side. It did feel like, I do think the more and more I see of Leicester grow over a year on year, it feels like we are one of these. I do feel like we are a top 4, top 6 club now with how we've just turned out today against a decent Championship side. We were head and shoulders above them.
Difference between us and most top 4 clubs, though, mate, is we haven't put the kids out. If you look at Arsenal, Chelsea, well, probably not Chelsea, but Man U, Man City, they send a lot of weakened teams into the Championship games just because they want to rest players. Where, Rodgers looked at it with a week to our next game. Do you know what? No, I'm going to send the first team there, without Maddison and Vardy because of knocks and not risk anything. And we've done a professional job today to get through to the next round. Look, Stoke caused us enough problems in that game. They had the best chance of the first half at 0-0 with Vokes, who volleyed over the crossbar from all of 6 yards out. As soon as we got the goal, it changed it. And Stoke's threat mainly was corners. And again, we still look weak at defending corners. They don't know why and what's going on, but we don't look comfortable at the moment from any set piece or corner. We just looked ragged at the back.
Mark, who was your man of the match, Mark? But also, which was your favourite goal today and why?
Man of the match was tricky because I'd probably say man of the whole match would have been JJ, but I thought Fofana played a cracking role today.
Yeah.
He was aggressive. He didn't give anybody a second on the ball. I think the only reason he came off when he did because you don't risk him wanting to get a red card. But if he'd have stayed on, I think I'd probably have given it to Fofana.
Yeah, I think, Mark, that's a good shout. We've not really mentioned Fofana. He did have a great game. Thanks, Mark, for joining us. I'm going to get Chris in now. We'll see you next game.
Cheers, Mark.
See ya.
Cheers. I want Jamie, Fofana, really... we said when he came off, we were saying, crikey, you forget he is just 20, isn't he?
Yeah, he had a good game, didn't he? The commentators, because I had it on Irish TV, the commentators were bigging him up all game long. He did his normal job. He came in, he headed the ball. When it's like straight down the field, he gets up high and he heads it straight back. He wins tackles. He's a bit like Ndidi with his legs. He's able to get his legs around players. So he is a quality defender. And like you say, we bought him for 30 million when he was 19, 3 months ago, and he's now 20, and he's just going to get better and better, I think, to be honest.
He is. Chris, thanks for joining us today. What's your post-match views on it?
Well, as I said, this was an absolutely fantastic result. I actually got the score spot on for once.
Well done.
Usually I'm miles off, but I actually got the score spot on this time. And yeah, it's been the perfect day for me because I got to see my hometown choke. My home team choke 1-0 up, and then they draw 1-0 with Lincoln. So it's a great team. It's a great day for me.
Chris, who was your man of the match, and what was your favourite goal, and why?
Well, man of the match, I gave to JJ because I thought he was absolutely superb. And in terms of goal, I would say because I could only really watch the last 2 goals, and that was from highlights shows because it wasn't available anywhere for me. So I could only see sort of the highlights on the BBC kind of thing. So I only saw the last 2 goals. But in terms of the goals, I loved the third one.
Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Tom, a lot of
bit
comments.
too easy, but you know.
Tom, we've been bigging up James Justin. Obviously, Ricardo Pereira not quite back into the side. What, is JJ's not going to get dropped at this rate, is he, for Ricardo Pereira? Pereira's going to have to fight his way back, isn't he?
I think Brendan Rodgers would be more than happy to have that as a problem, a Portuguese international who's now got to push his way back into the team, if that's a right back or right wing back. It gives such an option down that right hand side now. You can play Ricardo higher up the pitch and cause teams even more problems with his little 1-2s around the box, and have James Justin bombing in front of him. Look, the future's bright. Let's not go back too long ago that James Justin was the latest Chilwell. He was getting slated every game. It's his fault. It's Justin's fault this. It's Justin's fault that. And he's come on leaps and bounds since the end of last season. Literally, the Man City game away was a turning point for me because he became a man that game when he knocked Morris off the ball and set up our third goal. So defensively now he's starting to get even better, and that's working with the likes of Morgan, Fuchs, Johnny Evans at the back will only make him better as a player.
Chris, just before we let you go, who would you like to get in the next round of the Cup, Chris, and why?
I wish it could. I wish my home team were in the draw, because then I could say, please let it be my own team. But they got knocked out in the last round, so that's not going to happen. So potentially, I would love for us to potentially play the winner of Arsenal Newcastle. I think that would be a cracking match for us, because don't get me wrong, I don't expect us to potentially do well on that, but at the same time, it could, potentially be live, so we can actually watch it. And also, it would then make Rodgers potentially think, okay, we need to really fight for this.
Chris, by the way, you do know today's match was for free live on the BBC Red Button, don't you?
No, I did not know that. Thank you for telling me that.
The whole game?
Are you kidding me? Mind you, I have been at work since 9 o'clock this morning.
Well, that's fair enough. Chris, thanks for joining us. We'll see you for the next game, mate. Cheers.
You bet.
I just sounded like Chris didn't realise that. Let's get in J and R. They've been waiting patiently.
Phil, you needed to put Yuri on the Twitter list, because everyone's going Yuri for me, Yuri for me.
I know. Well, fair enough.
You can't win, can you?
You can't win. Do you know what? It's just one of those. Personally, I think it was James Justin anyway. So the rest were just fillers, because I think it should be James Justin. Jack, who was your man of the match? Let's start with you.
You know who I'm going to choose. Come on, Jamie. Luton Cafu and all that. Yeah, I'm going James Justin. I'm going for my man, James Justin, the Luton Cafu.
Ross, did you manage to see the game and the goals?
Yeah.
What was your favourite, Ross?
Oh, it's got to be double J, isn't it? Sounds like Jeff Jarrett now. James Justin. That's got to be nice. Double J, isn't it? Come on. Get him a cowboy out. That'd be sick. But no, I think brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
We need to keep a list of all the places Ross dials in from. It's the park, it's the bus, it's having a pizza. It'll be him on the bog next time.
Well,
it looks like he's going to rob a bank.
Charlie predicted the right goal score of Harvey Barnes, and I predicted the correct goal result of 4-0. So yeah, we scored, didn't he, Barnes? Harvey Barnes scored. No, I've tried to keep it short and sweet, so I'm on the bus. Yes,
we'll see you later, Ross.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I said one thing. James Justin, the way he keeps on playing at the minute, I won't be surprised. I think it could be England's main right back. He will give Alexander Arnold a run for his money if he keeps playing like he is at the minute. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
All right, cheers, Ross. We'll see you later. I've cut him off. He's on the bus. I'm sorry about that. Bless him. He comes in from anywhere. Jack, we took it seriously, and Leicester certainly played very well, didn't they?
Yeah, a phenomenal performance from the boys. He put out a strong team, and that's what we need to keep doing. If we want to win trophies, we have to do it that way. I think Brendan wants a trophy this season, and if it's the FA Cup or the Europa League or the Premier League title, then so be it. And I don't really care which one, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to add in. Let's add in. Sorry. What do you say, Tom?
Go for the treble.
Yeah, get in there, Tom.
Hi, mate. Thanks for joining us. Can you tell us your name?
Hi, how are you? My name's Elijah. Nice to meet you.
Brilliant. How are you? What did you reckon to today's game?
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, it seemed like exactly what Brendan wanted out of the match. We got a good first goal in the first half, forced Stoke to try to attack, and then just pummeled them.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your favourite goal today and why?
Oh, well, I got to go for the first one. I mean, that was it's going to be a classic for the season.
Yeah, James, Justin, Tom, we've talked about it a lot, but it really was. It's one of those goals I think you'll remember for quite a few years, to be fair, Tom.
You think about it, what made it more difficult was he had to come back from the byline. So he'd already gone past the 18-yard line. He had to cut back inside, took on 2 defenders with silky skills, and then smash it. I mean, if you look at the goalkeeper, he doesn't even move. He plants his feet to think where it's going, and before he knows it's in the top corner. What a finish. It's up there with, goal of the season contenders with James Maddison's 2 already for the one at Man City and the one at Brighton at home. So fair play to him.
Yeah, EKJ, before we let you go, I'm calling you that because that's you on your YouTube name, isn't it? Yep. The FA Cup, again, we didn't think, I personally didn't think Leicester were going to put out a strong side, but Brendan clearly has got it right today, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned at the start of the match that I thought it might be a statement of intent to transfers to show that, we're going for trophies and we're putting out our best teams when we can. And like you mentioned earlier, if we ended in a 1-0 win, that wouldn't have really made that statement, but it paid off.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks for joining us. Can you just tell us, you sound like you're from America, aren't you?
I'm Canadian.
There we go. Sorry, mate.
Take your foot out your mouth, Phil.
Are you in Canada now?
Yes.
Whereabouts? Come on, tell us where you are.
I'm in Toronto in Eastern Canada.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot for joining us and coming on. Do come on again.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Elijah.
Talking of the States, let's add in Michael as
Is it
well.
Michael?
Here we go.
USA.
Here's our Michael.
USA.
Yeah.
It's been a week for us, man.
Well, yeah, Michael. What a week it has been to be in America, mate.
Let's not go into politics.
Yes.
Good thing for football, that's for sure. As an American, as a new American follower of English football, the Cups are something that I really don't know about, but I do know about winning. And I do understand that sometimes the big clubs might send their lower level players out there, but we sent out our first team with 2 changes, because Brendan wants the trophy. And the players went out there with confidence today and aggression. I love how we're starting to close down the ball. Not starting, we've been doing it all season, but how we close down the ball on heavy touches from the opposition. It's really a sight to see. That's what I like. I like aggression. I like hustling towards the ball. James Justin today, I want to see the how many miles he ran today, because he was up and down. Castagna as well. The goal for Perez, he was in the box. He was like on the spot laying that off. I love his runs. It was a professional. I've heard a lot of people say that term today. It's a professional job and a great win. I love it.
Michael, I'm going to ask you about Demarai Gray, because I know you're a massive fan of him. And again, he didn't feature again today. Do you feel? Yeah, I know you've got your shirt on again. Every one of your shirts has got number 7 and Gray on, Michael. Do you actually? I know you'll be sad, but do you feel like it is probably tight? He is going to go now.
He's going to go. If he's not playing, he needs to go somewhere where he's going to play. He had his time here. Everyone forgets that he's the one that scored the goal after Kun Vishai died, and they want to get him out the club now. But
I don't think fans, Michael, want to get rid of Demarai Gray. I certainly don't. I just feel like Brendan's not picking him. If he can't make the FA Cup side,
yeah,
on the bench.
Obviously something in training isn't clicking. Obviously something in the locker room isn't clicking. And Brendan, he doesn't fit. And good luck to him somewhere else, It will be sad. I will be sad for sure.
Michael, if he goes, you're not going to follow the team he goes to, are you? You're going to stay with Leicester, aren't you?
You know what? I love the city of Leicester. The 2 times I went there, I love the city of Leicester. I will follow this club to the championship if it ever happened.
Don't say that.
Don't say it, but
I said that 3 years ago to someone. I was like getting all drunk and stuff. I was like, I would follow this club to the championship.
Hey, trust us, we've been down lower than that as well. So you never know with Leicester where you'll have to go, Michael.
For sure.
Jack, let's just bring you back into it. FA Cup, obviously, we've got a week off now. The next Premier League game, Jack,
Southampton.
is against Southampton. Yes, thank you. Michael's gone. Well, thanks, Michael, for joining us. Jack,
you didn't have to go.
Southampton in about a week's time. We've got a nice little breather now, haven't we?
Yeah, nice little breather, but a very tricky game.
They're in good form.
They're playing well this season, Southampton. Danny Ings is scoring, Che Adams, and I like James Ward-Prowse, the midfield of Southampton. I think he's phenomenal, especially the way he takes his free kicks.
I'm not now. Listen, I'm going to put a comment on screen here, and I don't know who wants to pick up on it out of Jack, Jamie, or Tom. But this is Anthony. Now, Anthony says, I'll peek above it. He says, I think we played well, but we need to create more during a game. We seem to be trying too many perfect passes, 1-2 chances a game will not push us to greatness. Need to move faster and not allow teams to get 11 players behind the ball. But progression is slowly happening. I think, Anthony, I'll be interested to hear what one of the other guys who's on live thinks. I feel, Anthony, you're being, I think, extremely harsh with that, because I genuinely feel like we were well in control today against Stoke. I can see massive progression in Leicester in the last 12 months. We could have got another 2 or 3 or 4 today. We were playing some lovely football. Would any of you like to pick up on Anthony? And we're not slating into Anthony. I don't agree with that comment.
No, I actually do agree with him a little bit.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Yeah, we're keeping possession. We're not actually making the killer balls. We're not doing the killer balls. We're trying to, like he says, we're trying to make that perfect pass and the possession-based football. The commentator says Leicester were dominating the possession. It was 53-47 towards the end of the first half. I won't call that dominating it, but we are trying to pick the perfect pass too much against Newcastle and against Southampton last year. We didn't have to do that. We were the flowing football, and we did play a bit more flowing football in parts today. But I do agree with what Anthony has said that we are. Was it Anthony?
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah,
we are trying to pick that perfect pass too many times.
But Tom, well, yeah, but isn't that because I just feel like we're playing so well. We've got so many good players. We can now start to play like that. We are playing like one of the best teams in the Premier League at times.
We've won today 4-0 without Maddison, without Vardy. We've evolved completely in the last 2 years now since Brendan came to the football club. In the last 12 months, we've evolved even more because we've gone to teams like Man City, like Arsenal, where we would have gone and tried to play this possession game and got absolutely tanked. Where we've now changed it, and Rodgers has had to play his cards differently. He's even admitted it. He's played his card differently, that he knows he can't go to Man City and Arsenal and try and play a possession game. He's got to be more defensive, and we take our time and win games. But for me, yes, there is times where we try and overplay it and we complicate it too much, where like a couple of times today, just play the right ball. One ball, slide someone in instead of trying 4 or 5 passes around the box. And it can get frustrating, as Jamie said, especially when we're 0-0 against teams who are sitting deep. But we are, as Phil said, we're evolved to a lot better team. And if you want to be one of those top teams, you need to be able to find those killer balls more often. So I think...
Sorry, Tom.
So I was going to say, Maddison summed up in an interview where he said, I'm not going to change how I play. I'm not going to change where I'm going to try those killer balls, because if I don't try it, then it might not come off.
But sometimes, like Andy just put on there about having a shot, why don't we have a pop on goal instead of making one extra pass? Have a pop. Something will happen. You might get a deflection. You might get the keeper parry it. It might go to a. Why do we need to make? I'm not saying the football's wrong, but there's a chance it could go straight to another Leicester player. And if we have a pop from 25, 30 yards, we don't seem. When was the last time we scored a goal from long range in open play, not a free kick?
James Justin just scored a 20-yarder from the cut.
Apart from today, that was probably the first time we've scored a half-decent goal from long range.
I'm hearing. Well, it's fair enough.
We don't have enough pops at goal.
Jack, about 2 years ago, obviously, when Claude Puel pulled this team together, for about a year after that, I thought Brendan's play, using a lot of that team and squad. And I used to think, is Brendan doing anything that much different to club? Well, it's similar. I'm now really seeing some differences with where the team is, as like Tom said, is evolved to. I just think when I used to play football really badly, there was times where you feel like you're on top and you can really play these balls. Nothing like Leicester. I think they're just full of confidence, Jack.
Yeah, we're playing very well at times. With Brendan Rodgers, when he came in, he's adapted to the players that he's got. He's brought in new players, obviously James Justin. He brought Tillemans back. So yeah, it's just dealing with what he's got. And with Brendan Rodgers, he likes to play a certain way of football. I know it can be frustrating at times when it's sideways, backwards, taking time to go forward, but we're getting there in the way he wants to play, and it's proving why it's working and rather not.
Jamie?
Yeah, I know. I understand what people are saying. Yes, the Madders goal. All right, so then. Madders goal and the JJ today. But why do we have to make... Why there was times today where we had it, or other times where we've had it on the 18-yard box and we've decided to go sideways. Why don't you just have a pot? Why don't players...
Because we're cruising, Jamie. We were cruising today in first
gear. Not just today though. We don't have a pop. We're the team that's had the least chances, I think, in the Premier League. We don't have a pop on goal. If we had a pop on goal and it got a deflection or the keeper parried it, that's my view. I'm agreeing with Anthony there. We don't have enough shots on goal. We try to make that perfect pass all the time. We've done well. The way we're playing, what about scoring from a corner? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? It definitely would be. But yeah, like you said, we are building, like Tom said, we are building another team from pure. We aren't got any. See, what was that comment by Reese? We aren't any good at corners, Jamie. So we think we'd rather have precise and silly shots at least. Well, yeah, I understand that. But if you don't take your chance, you don't know. If you don't have a shot, you haven't got a chance of scoring, have you? Sometimes it's just a bit too much. See, people are picking. It's not about the odd goal in three. That's 3 goals we've scored from distance. It's about having a pop on goal, not just for just going in the back of the net, but taking chances and scoring. Not just scoring, but taking chances from long range shots and getting deflection, getting a parry off the keeper. And it's a simple tap in for Vardy to get his goal rate up, and everyone will be raving of it. We've had the least amount of shots. That's all I'm saying. Not that I'm not enjoying it. It's the last few weeks. I know a couple of weeks ago I had a bit of a moment and a bit of a wobble about it, but we need to have more pops on goal. See, they're picking up. It's not about the odd goal. It's not. People are saying, because I'm saying we're not having enough outside shot. We're not having enough shots. That's 4 or 5 goals we've scored. Yeah, they are. Michael says, can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. If you don't have a shot, you can't score. We don't have enough shots in the game. I
think we've just got players like Maddison, Yuri Tillemans, Dennis Pratt. They're all looking. Harvey Barnes. We are looking for this slick passing. And today we were at times there was some superb play from Leicester.
Totally agree with it. But we just need to have a few more. Tillemans used to come in. When he first came in, Tillemans used to rifle shots in left, right and centre, not scoring many, but he used to rifle them in, and some of them were thunderbolts. You don't even see him having a pop today. Well, he did today, didn't he, with his left foot, and it went about 10 yards wide.
But you do see him making several absolutely stunning through balls from midfield, which is really I think they're playing how Brendan's asking them to play as a team performance.
I just, like Andy says, just need to take a few more shots, have a few more pops. That's all. Like the old-fashioned way. I'll keep going back old school. Like, you need to have a few more shots on target.
Yeah, Matt is effectively saying it's now about keeping this group together and not selling any players, and I think that's going to be so right. I think Matt's on to something there, Jack. We mustn't let these. We mustn't. I don't want this summer to be about. I don't know who are we going to pick. Maddison, maybe. Is this going to be this summer's 70-80 million pound player we sell, or Yuri? I don't know. I don't want to get into that again.
No, forget that. We need to keep the squad as it is. We're not a selling club. We don't want to be a selling club. You sell your best players. You don't really do well, do you, after you've sold them players? Obviously, people say, oh, yeah, but you can buy better players. But who's better players? You don't really know, do you, from these other divisions. But if we can get a squad together, this squad's going places. And under the right management as well as Brendan, he could be taking us to like trophy winning seasons and all that. So we just got to buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Jack, thanks for joining us. We'll see
Cheers,
you
guys.
soon.
See you tomorrow, Jamie.
Yeah,
See you later,
thanks,
pal.
Jack. Come on then, Jamie. What's on tomorrow?
The Aftermath Show, an actual proper Aftermath show, talking about the football instead of previewing the football.
Yes. Are you looking forward to it?
It's going to be different. It's going to be
Do you
different. I'm going to talk about long-range shots tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to talk about long-range shots tomorrow.
I'm going to come on, and I'm going to be there messaging saying, bloody hell, Jamie, we're top 4 in the Premier League and we're in the Europa last 32. We've got just
but I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just disagreeing with we need to have a few more pops on goal when we're in them chances instead of going wide. I know it's working so far. I know a win's a win. Yeah, Nick, I agree with you. If we win 1-0, win 9-0. It's just the chances that we take. We need to take a few more chances. Yeah, like you've said, in the 90th minute, when we're passing it at the back and we're 1-0 down, we're still side to side, back to back. It's the same kind of thing. We need more pops on goal. We need to lump it up there.
Yeah, I agree. And Jamie, a lot of fans have put in the comments here. I've tried to put some on screen. They do understand what you're saying, and a lot of people agree with you. And obviously, Anthony Beebe started that conversation off. But
cheers, Anthony.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. Anyway, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Somebody's just put in there. Somebody's just said, Nick Moore said to you, when's the pool coming out? It's a bit cold for that, isn't it?
Oh, it's bloody freezing at the minute, isn't it? You wouldn't even want to dip. You know, when you've got a little kid and you put your elbow in like that to test the water, you wouldn't even want to do that.
I love it.
Absolutely Baltic over here.
Jamie, you say Baltic. How cold is it? 14 degrees?
No. It's nearly 0.
You can't get that in Mallorca, can you?
Oh, yeah, there's snow. We've had snow.
Really?
In the mountains. I'm not quite snowed in like Madrid is, but we've had snow in the mountains. And it's the last 4 days, it's been Storm Philomena, and it's been a nightmare. Had rain. Oh, it's been horrendous. And having no toilet or shower, it makes it even worse.
Jamie, thanks for joining us. We'll see you all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in the Foxes Aftermath Show.
Yes, you certainly will. I'll be here.
Thanks to Jamie. I'm going to let the last couple of comments come in here. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for Tom and Locks who took us through the whole match. That was great. Again, thanks everybody who's put the comments in. If you can all like and share this video, we always appreciate that. I think it's been another good day for Leicester. Let's not get carried away, but we're doing well in the FA Cup, well in the Europa League, and of course, super well in the league. Thanks as ever to all you guys for getting your views and getting your comments in. We couldn't do the shows without you. If you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, give us a like and a share. And as ever, thanks to these guys for helping us bring you Leicester Fan TV.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. With special thanks to our pals at ADT Taxis, Feed Me, Piglet's Pantry, Tiger, Leicester Garage Conversions, Pink Vehicle Leasing, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Moyer Wade Interiors, and our chosen charity, Memphis UK. We bring you the fans' views on the match each week, and your views matter to us. Join the fans' debate each match with us. Follow us at Leicester Fan TV.